Hi, good morning, pack leaders. Today we're going to be doing another Mad Hatter tutorial. Now this time we're going to add a little bit more fidelity, I'd say, on messing with the Bollinger Band, see what we can do, and I'll just do a little more explanation of how the Bollinger Band works. So let's go ahead and switch over to my computer. Alright, so I haven't chosen a coin yet, so what I'm going to do is go through the process of choosing a coin that I'm going to create next. Usually I just kind of go with the highest market cap and kind of work my way down the list. And that's probably what I will do. So let's go ahead and ETH, and volume wise, there it is. I think we pretty much have all this stuff already. ETC seems to be moving up. I don't think I have ETC on there, so let's go ahead and let's add ETC. Actually, I think my private Wolfpack already has an ETC on there, so I'll just use what they have and not recreate the work. Yeah, let me go ahead and pick up the coin. This is my bot. Switch over here. Next is, so now we have berwick, OMG. Let's go with GTO. Got a lot, 5 bounce back. Alright, let's go with GTO. Manhattan, GTO ETH. Add the bot. Alright, give it a few seconds. It loads up. It has to be created now. There's my GTO. Alright, so the first thing I do is just jump right into full screen so we kind of see what we're doing here. And GTO seems to be already touching the upper and lower bounds of the RSI. So I might not need to touch it very much. But I will bring it down just so that it crosses over. The explanation is that when it crosses over is usually when the buy and sell signal happen. So I don't have to move that much. After a while you get a feel of kind of how much to move it down. Usually 5 to 10 points will kind of get the crossover. So there you go, it's crossing over. I like that. It's firing off some signals. A little more frequently than I like to, but it's okay. So you might get with some of these guys where it fires off too early, but you know, we don't know, and it's going to keep tanking. We don't know. We'll let the bot decide. Alright, so based on that, that looks pretty good. Let's run our initial back test and see what we get. Usually run for 2 weeks. I might start certain times since I have an auto tuning bot now. But we need something that works in the long term, and then we'll kind of bring it down to the short term. Go wide and bring it in. So 4.5% for that. So let's go ahead and continue to improve and massage it. Alright, so next one I'll probably do is just, usually we'll have both of these unchecked, but we'll do it one by one. And of course I'm always teaching within allergy. 46%, so I'm going to go ahead and lock that in. Do a little screenshot so I don't lose my settings. And I probably would like to do a screenshot with this on. It ended up with a buy, which is fine, as long as it's not more than 4 days, because sometimes you have to watch the buy. If it's over 4 or 5 days, it's holding the bag. And that's something to watch out for. Okay? And I haven't really entered the trade amount, so let's go see what I think the trade amount, or let's see here, the price is 34 cents. So with that, I know I can get about 1,000. I believe 1, 2, 3 is $300. I get about 3,000 of these guys if I trade $1,000 trades. but so that's where I would put 3,000 right here. If each trade is gonna be 3,000 on this. Save. And then the next thing I would do is calculate the spread, see what my minimum buys and sells are. Let's go ahead and look at the analyzer real quick to see where it's actually buying and selling. So it only made most of it towards the end. Buy, sell, buy, sell. And the buy is down here. Okay. It would be better to be sold higher, but it doesn't know that. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. So let's see if we can increase the percentage to sell. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to full screen, pull up my calculator so I kind of calculate what's happening on a regular basis in terms of the trade range. So just looking through here, this is more of the art, you know, just kind of eyeball where you think the swings are happening. So there's one, and so kind of see here from 43 to 45, that's about 2 grids. 2. Usually 2 grids happens again, 2 grids happen again. Of course, you're going to be mindful the scale does change too. Okay. So now this is 2 grids from 44 to 46. So I think it moves about 2 quite often. So let's go ahead and grab the calculator. The calculator is provided to our Wolfpack VIP group in the membership area. Alright, so here is our calculator. Put it over here. Alright, so this basically just kind of calculates the percentage. I think ETH is currently at around $900, and those percentages change over time. And it's moving about 2 grids, so there's 3 zeros, so let's say 4, 4, 4, 6. And I normally would kind of eyeball it, you know, by to the T, but after a while you kind of don't need to anymore. Just kind of look at the grid and see if it's moving 2 boxes a lot. 1 to 2, or 1 box, 1 to 2. There's another opportunity here to here, another box, here to here, another box. That happens quite frequently. So you just kind of use these 2 grids instead of 0.0462 whatever. Just put the grids. It's good enough. Alright, so with that, what do I get? Let's see here. So at Ether on that price, it's moving about 4.5% every time, which is pretty good. And so it's going at 40 cents, selling at 41 cents, and you have a coin quantity of $1,000 or 3,000 coins. You're going to be making about $51 profit for every one of these moves, which is okay as long as it happens frequently. That's what we want. So as the trades throughout the day, picking out 50 bucks at a time. The more you can do it, the better. Okay. So let's go ahead and update our settings to 455% before we sell. And let's go ahead and back test this and see what happens. Alright, a little bit of a boost, 2%. Sometimes you get a boost, sometimes you don't. So in 2 weeks, you'd probably gain $300, which is okay. Alright, so now reset middle. I usually leave this on, but we'll also take this off and on and see what happens. And there's really no technical understanding behind it. I mean, you can understand it, but all we really need to know is that when we uncheck and backtest it, we get a better ROI, and that's all we need to know. we'll leverage the bot, and we'll let the bot do its things to understand how I need to put it back in, to understand how technical trade analysis stuff works. And to me personally, I'm not much of a, I don't really, care too much about trading. I just need to make money at the end of the day, so that's why we have a bot, right? So let's go ahead and turn that off. Oh, let me grab a screenshot real quick so I can revert back. Sometimes I forget to do screenshots, and it's not a good thing. Screenshot there. Alright, let's go back to full screen. And let's take that off. And why do I work in full screen versus the regular one? Well, I don't know. I was doing it on before, and I took out the settings so that you could switch back and forth. So it didn't get better, it got worse, so let's leave it back on. And then let's do the other one. Press that. It keeps shipping to the analyzer. I have to keep popping back out, so I need it like that. So that improved it. So make note. Let's then go back and grab that. So after a while, when you start doing this, you kind of notice that it's best to have these unchecked, and not unchecked. As you put this on, I think it might get worse. And so you kind of notice the baseline to start out with after a while. Okay. And so let's go ahead and uncheck this. I'm going to go ahead and save it here just for convenience. I think I was still in 2 weeks, so let's go switch to 2 weeks now. 31, so it did improve it. But you see here, 14 is good, that's today. Didn't hold it back for very long. Sold, bought. And this one here, just make note of that, it did hold the bag for about 4 days before it sold. Let's see if it does that without. I like to get in and out quickly, not stick around. So by here, 1 day, 7, and it did hold the bag again for about 4 days. So I guess no difference. It did hold the bag for about 7 days. So expect that for the back test. If you expect it to do this, so in real life, when you're like, hey, what's going on? I'm stuck. Well, it was shown in the back test that you got to be stuck for at least 7 days. So at least give it the full 7 days if that's the case what you're allowing it to do. I don't really see if this is helpful. 31, so about 6 days, 4 days here. So I'm gonna buy into there. Alright, let's just go with this. This is doing better on it. 31.91. It's another one. And this basic indicator system says that it's only gonna need 2 signals from the either RSI, boiler bands, or MACD to confirm a buy or sell signal. If you have unchecked, see, if checked, only 2/3 of the signals to agree. If it's unchecked, all 3 of these signals have to agree before it goes to buy signal. So 1, 2, and 3 have to all agree rather than 2 out of the 3. So it's a little more trigger happy. You can see how there's more buys and sells along the way. If you had uncheck this, you'll see it's a little more cleaner. They all have to agree. So you have to buy and sell. So you won't have any intermediary buys and sells in there. So as it kind of, sometimes this could happen. It could buy as it comes down and get stuck a little bit. And you're like, I should have bought there. It's a little more sporadic. Takes a little more frequent trades, like say. So it's really up to your preference. I say I don't really like that. I like to have it nice and clean. Able to see, hey, I don't want to buy on downtrends. If it's downtrend, don't get me in there. So it's just kind of move up a little bit, and maybe. but you know, sometimes it still keeps going down and bot doesn't know that. So it's a little more alt we have to align in order for the signals to come up. Okay, so this is diverging is right there. Alright, so after this, let's talk about Bollinger Bands. Now, we kind of want to, you know, of course, buy low, sell high. So when stuff is happening, we don't want that part, right? We want it to, you know, pick up on the upswing. Now there are some smaller ones here that you could probably make a little bit of money, but based on our calculations, we need at least 2 points to make 50 bucks. Here's 25, 25. We need 2 points, so this is $50 spread. So we don't want to play in these tiny areas just because it increases the trading fees and you know, this is where you make us any that much more money. So based on that knowledge, we want to make sure that we buy down here and we sell at the point that we need to do. And to do that, we can adjust the dev up and dev down. The upper bands means like, hey, you know, I think there's a certain percentage, I read it somewhere, where it's like 80% of the time it's gonna expect the candles to stay within the bands. If it moves outside, that means it's actually exceeded what it had expected to do, like 80% of the time. So maybe 90% of the time, it'll move outside the band, and 90% of the time, it'll move way out. So once it hits these extremes, you know that once it hits the extreme, what it's supposed to do, it should usually try to move back in. So that's why whenever it breaks the band, it's like, oh, this is time to buy, because most likely it's going to move back in and move up and hit the other top of the band. Okay, so these are the prime points of buying. You know, you don't want to buy inside because you don't know what it's going to be doing. But when it breaks, we know that it's going to rebound. At least that's the idea. Okay, so to make it more trigger happy on selling, we lower it 1.9. 2 is like in the middle ground. And to make it reluctant to buy, you make it higher, 2.1, up to 3. So if I make this up to 3, it very, you know, unlikely to want to buy anything at all. You see a bunch of sell signals, unless you see some kind of extreme where it doesn't break the band in an extreme way, then it will bounce back up. Okay. So let me see where that is. I would say like down here would be one. Okay. I don't think you can go any higher than 3. I guess you could. Let me test here. As far as I know, you can only do up to 3. So I guess 4 is the max. That is all sell signals. Interesting. Well, I learned something today. Alright. So let's say if that's the case, then if we were reluctant to buy 3.5 towards the very end, then it really has to break, has to do a big drop in order to pick anything up. And I would say we buy signals here since we're up to 3. Alright, so I don't like this part. So what we're trying to do now is to manipulate the signals to get it to buy where we want it to buy. So this here, sell, would make it a little more trigger happy than selling. See that? Brings that in a little bit. It's still here. Looks like it's not. It's probably too much. So let's go ahead and increase the length, maybe. See if that helps. Alright, cool. So increasing the length has brought the sell signal down here, and we don't buy until it starts to come back up. Okay, so that's kind of where we want to manipulate the Bollinger Bands, increasing, decreasing. If usually up and down will do it. If these aren't doing anything to it, then the length is probably what needs to be changed, and that'll get it to go where we want it to go. Okay. And there's some parts where, hey, I could have bought here, but why didn't it? Well, maybe it just didn't have a good signal because it did break the bottom band. So it's very reluctant to buy. Alright, so we want to make it more reluctant to buy, then we'll kind of lower this down a little bit. 2.9. And it's refreshing. There you go. So we're getting to the more of some single pricing here. We got where we want it to be. Still, we could have bought here, but we didn't. Alright, so let's go ahead and load a little more. Don't like these guys, so we might be picky. It's okay because when we can be when we have a lot of coins that we have to set up, so we only pick up certain opportunities when we know we're gonna win, rather than buying where it's where we think it's gonna go up but it doesn't. Right, so I'll do that. That's pretty cool. Alright, so based on that, let's go around and back test. We'll see how it does, and then we're gonna switch up to MA type. I know that's gonna change a lot of the stuff too, but within you know, let the bot figure it out. And if anything, after playing with it, if it gets worse, we can always revert back to that screenshot. 25. Alright. It wasn't as good. But let's see if there's anything else we can do here. Side, keep up the bands. We didn't buy here because it would break this band up to the bottom. Alright, so it's okay, you know. I'm gonna take 26% rather than the 33 because of course we understand that the backtest doesn't reflect the future. So we know that we have a very obvious opportunity here, and this is what I would take. And I would probably take a lower ROI now that I see it that way. I don't really take high ROIs anymore because I know this is not the accurate feature. So then I'm gonna go ahead and switch out different moving average types to see if there's any difference on the ROI, and if it does anything different. So this one doesn't look like it's gonna do anything, but we'll see. 25, okay. View trades, probably got stopped trading way back here, November 11th. You can actually go back and see what actually happened on that time frame to see if that's something that you're interested in this characteristic. So I guess it did something here. But it's also missing out a lot of other stuff too, so. Okay, let's move on. Four. Yeah, that little component there. Back test. 27. 3. 18. You're a good estimator. Model. Okay. 7. Let's getting worse. Let's see. Go here. Five. And 4. 32 is the new one. Alright, so this one seems to be doing the best out of everything so far. Let's look at the analyzer. Let's see what's going on. Buy and sell there. Hold the bag a little bit over here for a day or two. This one was the most opportune time. So it just did really well between February 11th to that day. You got lucky. Right here on the spike. So, could happen again. Quite unlikely. Let me go ahead and restore it back to what I had before. 30, I have 20 here. 2, 2, SMA, 0, 14. I forgot to screenshot that one, so I just want to do an experiment real quick. I think it'll improve better keeping it this way. Going to my old ways. What I did before was just kept it at my highest. And then just back to from here on. So I got my 32. Okay. Is that it? It goes right. 29. Everything looks the same. 45, 220, 2 SMA, 2070, 1226. Okay, good. Alright, so I kind of go through and do the same thing here, and I do see a lot of improvement from just testing out different moving average types, and then just ending with that. So we got 31 there. Actually, this wasn't as good as the other one I had before. And I know the percentage does drop a little bit, but I feel like it's a bit of a ballpark that's a little higher. Six, that's a new one. So let's go with the T3. I also make note of the how it buys and sells. 6, and it sold, held it for 1 day. Sold, bought, held it for 4 days. Bought, sold, bought, sold. And this held it for 2 to 4 days, which is fine. Alright, so let's go to the next one. Mama. $26. Kawa. 22. And Lima. exponential moving average. One and then double exponential moving average. I don't know why they have all these moving averages, but they're all trying to keep something. Alright, so 31. So the best one here is T3. And I think it's some kind of triple three, whatever. People read about it, but that doesn't matter to me. I just know I can select it. Alright, so that's what I'm going to keep right there. That's all I have for today. Hopefully that's helped you guys set up your Mad Hatter settings. Now I want to also let you know that we are working on a auto tuning bot that would actually do this automatically. We just kind of set it, forget it, and come back to it and say, hey, it's all done. You don't have to kind of do it very long way because it is very time consuming. I just took about half hour doing this, and to set up all the other bots will take a lot of time. And not only that, as you move forward in time, these settings get outdated, and you have to keep up on it. So that is our next phase of that as we release it to our group. That feature is actually a paid upgrade once we have that done. That way we can have the auto tuning bot, 24/7 auto tuning it, and since we can do it more frequently, we can then shorten it down to 2 hours. So that's more of a higher frequency of trades that we can do in 2 hours, so that we can find the characteristic of that in a micro scale. Alright, thank you guys. Hopefully that helped. Subscribe below if you want to see more coins that I set up. If you have any questions or any coins you want me to set up, please comment that below, and I will do that for you. Thank you. Oh man, I'm sick.